I know many of you are using a hybrid between spreadsheets and lists, and today we're going to go over how we can actually edit a spreadsheet directly within a PowerApp screen. Now, it's preferred that you migrate this spreadsheet over to a list and then have it native, but you can do it any way that you like. Maybe you need that spreadsheet for other reasons. So I'm going to show you how to operate that in a hybrid environment, so stay tuned. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create this gallery right here. Now, this gallery happens to have, I don't know, 17,000 records or something of that nature. See, so as you can see here, we can just continue to pull down the data. Now, one thing to note here that is different is that the data here is in a spreadsheet, so we have no limitation on what appears on the screen here. So let's go ahead and look, and we're going to do this step by step, just as we always do with these files. This file here that's intended for you to do screenshots. So pause the video as needed and do screenshots to capture everything in the background. So, all right, so let's get started. The first place we go is we have to create a list. Excuse me, we have to identify the actual file. And in this case, we're going to do this file right here, which is 17,384 records. So we're just going to go over here, and I just wanted to show you what you need to do here to create a list. If your file does not have these drop downs on it, that means that you do, not a list, excuse me, that means that you do not have a table. So to create a table, we just click on a series of files of columns and rows. Now remember, if this was not a table, you wouldn't see these down arrows here, and you could select everything inside of your spreadsheet. But we're just doing this as an example. You highlight what it is, then you just click on here and say format as a table, and then it'll pop these into place. And so here's kind of how that we selected that. You can do a screenshot here. We basically highlighted the information and selected format as a table, then we format it as a table. Okay. You do another screenshot here. This is just basically setting up the PowerApp to point to OneDrive. So we're going to walk through that right now. Take your screenshot. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So here we're going to go into PowerApps itself, and we're going to create this data source. Now remember, inside of PowerApps, we've created this app. If you need to know how to create an app in PowerApps, it's pretty simple. You just go to PowerApps, and then there's a create button, and you create the new app. So right here, see create and then blank app. And then you give some information. So, but we're here already. We've created a new screen by selecting new screen, called it screen 3 for this video. And now we're going to add data. To add data, we just select the data button there, and then we want to select add data. And in this case, we're going to do OneDrive. And we're going to do OneDrive for Business right there. So we're just going to select that. And then it's going to walk you through a series of screens. Now, I've already added it, so I'm just going to show you what it does. So you select the add data, you hit OneDrive for Business, good to go there. And then you select what connector, so you're going to do OneDrive for Business. Then you're going to search for the Excel file. Now in this case, it happens to be in a folder. So I'm just going to look for it. I know it's in Power BI data, report data. I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to select the spreadsheet. And then it's going to ask me for a table within the spreadsheet. Financials is one of them. I'm going to click on it and hit connect. When I get done, that data is going to be connected right here in, so if I search for it, it's just going to show up here. Remember, I'm here on my data tab. It's going to show up here as 17,384. Okay, so now we've established the data source. We've set up a screen. Now we need to build out the gallery. So the next step that we're going to do is actually add a vertical gallery. So we're going to say insert here, and we're going to type in vert. And you see blank vertical gallery? We're going to select on that bad boy. When you select on it, now it's going to ask me for what data I want to put in that gallery. I'm going to select right here this data, which is the data from the spreadsheet, right? The 17 blah, blah, blah. And we're going to pull this gallery. There we go. We're going to move it over here. Okay. So once you're inside, so let me give you your screenshot. So here we typed in vert, right? Insert, vert, blank vert gallery, typed in the number. Take a screenshot. All right, let's move on. So here we're going to have the gallery itself, and you can see gallery 21, and we're going to edit that gallery. So let me show you that. A lot of people get lost on this phase. We just added this gallery, and we could select directly. Notice how we're still there, right? It's got the pencil there. We want to edit the gallery. We're good to go. But sometimes people lose where that is or what have you. So you just want to select again on the gallery over here from your tree view, and then you'll see it right there. And that's really this step right here. We just need to see that, because now we're going to go ahead and insert things into that gallery. But this is important. If you're not selected on that gallery, let's say you select it and then you don't hit the pencil and you say insert text label. Notice how the text label goes over here. It's not in your gallery. That's not what we want. Okay? So we're going to delete that, go back to the gallery. We're going to select now with it. See how it's highlighted? We're going to hit, for example, text label. And now do you see it's inside the gallery? See how I can't go outside the gallery? But if you notice here, I have multiple. See, I have it right there as well. If you click on this gallery and you reduce this down and you keep going down, notice there's some different products down there. Okay, so this is the information from this spreadsheet. So somewhere in there is a field called products. Okay, whoops. So, or product. We can change this to country. Do you see how we're just typing it in? If we hit our tab key, it'll accept it, and now it's going to put in the country. Okay? We can also copy this. So once we configure this correctly, let's say we wanted it 10 points and we want to use, I don't know, Lotto. Okay. And maybe we bump that back up to 11. Good. And we only want the height to be 25. So we get this dialed in exactly how we want it. Notice we're dorking there. So let's give it a 200. Okay. So it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to say I want to add the next one. Now I show you in the instructions, so I'm going to show you in a minute. It's just to do a right click, hit copy. You can do all that. But the easiest way to do it is with the 4. Do you see the handles, the 6 handles around Canada there? We're going to hold down the control button on our keyboard and we're going to select C for copy, and then we're going to release the control key. So control key down, C, release. Good. Now with it still there, I'm going to hold down the control key again, hit V. Notice that it pumped in one more field, and now it looks exactly like that field. And do you see where the little line comes up there? That means that you're at the edge of the other field. Pretty easy, right? Then we just go in here and we change this to whatever we want. In this example, we're changing it to cogs. So we're going to just change it to cogs, and now you can see all the unique numbers. Okay, so we spent more time than I wanted to on that. Let me go ahead and put this up on here. So here we're doing that, right? We're inside. Remember, we selected the little pencil right there. We're inside. We selected the input field. See? There it is. Then I walk you through a copy and paste exercise. Okay, but it's easier just to use the Control C, Control V, and then we've got that record there. All right, let's go to the money slide here. And the money slide is, how do we save this bad boy? So here we reset the other one to cogs, but we need to, before we configure the save key, so we need to add a button called save. To do that, we're just going to type in but. and hit button. And we can add one just as a button, or better, we can just type in save, and we can actually add the icon save, which is what we did there. Okay, so but here, down here in your gallery, do you notice here, this is called label 36_1. When you select it, it goes to cogs. When you select it, it goes to country. But we need to know this information before we start programming the save button. So the easiest way to do that is to go in and rename this right here. So do you see where it says text cogs? Well, I already renamed it, but do you notice here that it says cogs right here? And it says cogs right here. Country is the same way. Country, country. So we want to name it because when we get to the save action, which we'll go to right now, and I'll give you your screenshots here in just a second. So here's your save action. So notice this is gallery 21. It would be better if you rename this gallery to whatever you're going to use, and gallery 22. But we can drive on the way with gallery 21, but we just need to know the name of it, which is gallery 21. Okay, whoops. Then we need to know we're going to do a patch, and a patch means that I'm going to look at what the data is here, and I'm just going to update it there. Now, there are other ways to do this to find the actual data that has changed. We're not going to go into that in this video, but you can. So it's just going to really depend on the size of your spreadsheet. But if you need to, we use the toggle to do the change in the save. I just looked out on my channel. If you search Google for this file right here, just search for that number there, you'll come up to this video right here. And in this video, it's just a minute long, I talk about the toggle, right, in PowerApps that I use, that basically says that when you're saving information here, it's only going to try to save those files that have changed. It's not going to resave everything. If you resave everything inside of PowerApps, what you're going to find, especially in a file that's got 17,000 records, you're going to get a lot of this, right? The circle is working, right? And the save button grays out. That means that this thing is struggling to get everything saved in a timely period. And your users most likely will not be happy about that. So to avoid that, we use that toggle. But anyways, let's go back to the save action here. Save action, we're going to patch it. This record, country is the name. So this is why we need this in here. TXT country, we know the field name. The field name is country. We know that this is the value that feeds that field. So we're good to go there. That's how we type that in. For a numeric value, especially if you're dealing with spreadsheets, you're going to have a lot of number columns. Here, cogs. But here we had to put the word value in front of it so that we can input this text. Okay, so that's all. With the parentheses, squiggly brackets, that's what your save action is. Once you've configured your save, this will work every single time. It works like a charm. And then it'll just save. But remember, you want to look up that toggle as a potential add-on if your data set's really large. Good luck.